I'm told it's not impossible that you missed the start of the programme, which was magnificent, actually. You'd really have enjoyed it. It's Midnight in Helsinki. That was the title we gave the programme, because it is actually Midnight in Helsinki. Well, it's not now. It's a few minutes after midnight. Obviously, just a few minutes after 10 o'clock at Fabulous Radio 1 in London. And later on in this programme, in addition to some records which I've picked up over the past couple of days, you're going to hear some tracks recorded live at One Live in Lapland, as we're calling it, and also a special contribution from The Pig, which I think you'll enjoy enormously, and which I expect to see become a programme favourite. In the meantime, Jackie Harris... Oh, that was Tutter Cook who wrote an I Sound, by the way, and How We Never Went to Bed, which seemed like an appropriate title, really, for the past few days. And this is Jackie Harris and the Exciters. Do It, Do It.
Now, band, do you want to do it to it? Yeah! Come on, you can do better than that now. I said, do you want to do it to it? Yeah! Now let me hear it with a little bit of soul now. I said, do you want to do it to it, band? Yeah! I like that now. All right. Now, Johnny, you looking good over there. Now, I want to see ya do it to it. Now, bass man, I want you to grab him and hug him and do it to it. Now, lead guitar man, I want you to grab his right foot and do it to it. Come on, you. All right. Now, organ man, you're looking lonesome over there. I want you to grab his left leg and do it to it now. Come on. Let's get it together now. Come on. Let's get it together now. Come on. All right. All right. Now come on. Now come on. Let's get it. Now say it. Now do it to it. Now do it, do it, do it. Do it to it. Do it to the one you love, the face. Now do it to it. To your baby head. Now, do it to it. Do it to it, all right. Now I want you to get funky. Now, sweat a little bit. Put your body, get breezy. My, sweat a little bit. Now, do it to it. My nana to the one you love the best. Mama, do it to it. Great God, the money to the one you love. My na. All right, everybody looking good now. Do it to it, baby.
Jackie Harris and the Exciters, and that's called Do It, Do It, as you might have imagined, and it comes from an LP, a compilation called Super Funk 2, Rare Funk from Deep in the Crates. And as far as we know, incidentally, in a moment or so, I shall be giving you an email address here in Helsinki that you can get in touch with us via. That, as far as we know, has got nothing whatsoever to do with Finland, but this has.
Wants to
We're pretty certain that track was called Sick Boy. It's by Bitch Alert from an LP called Pay for Orgasm, and they're one of the bands that we saw playing up in Lapland a couple of nights ago. We saw some, what are those things called again? Reindeer. We saw some reindeer, but no moose. If that's is that the plural of moose? You can't say mooses, can you? Anyway, if you want to send us an email, you have to send it to, as it were, my contact here at Radio Mafia in Helsinki, for whom I do a fortnightly programme. And but you don't send it to Radio Mafia. You send it to Lena Lehtinen, which I'll spell to you. That's LEENA.LEHTINEN at YLE.FI. Shall I do that one again? It'd be nice to get some, actually, wouldn't it? I mean, really, it'd make us feel, because we're kind of homesick, aren't we? Lena Lehtinen at YLE.F. That's LEENA.LEHTINEN at YLE.FI. Let's be hearing from you. And this is, what is this? This is Sonic and Silver. Track's called 21 Gun.
See? Don't rise up. Don't get the father, right? Hey, I know someone can shout right. See? Don't rise up. Don't get the father, right? Don't rise up, don't get the father, right? Hey, I love someone kill shower. See? Alright, now master place the man struck a measure.
游的本质。
Travel Essentials on Radio 1.
Going travelling opens your eyes to new people, new experiences, different ways of life.
If you're bored with your life and think you're going nowhere, then this could be what you need. Go on, do something about it.
Travelling makes you realise the diversity of so many different cultures and so many different ways of thinking.
The more places you see, the more you want to see, I think, because you realise that there's so much more out there.
I think it's really important that people realise that there's a lot of other places in the world. We're not just the UK and our tiny little island getting on with our own things here. Other things are happening, and it's really important that we all see that.
For your free Radio 1 Travel Essentials Guide to living, working and studying abroad, call 0800 110 100. That's 0800 110 100. Or you can check out the Essentials website, www.bbc.co.uk/Radio 1, and click on The Essentials. Addio.
Kick up! Kick a conspiracy! Kick up! Kick a conspiracy! J Hills! Sonic Red! Aztecos! King of Tea! Kick up! Kick a conspiracy! Kick up! Kick a conspiracy in the Marble Hall to the Trump School! Our style is punished! And the marble military of the Upgrade rules! Our style can't be punished! The distance of your stink magnates! The breaks! You! Lance! Kick up! Kick conspiracy! Kick up! Kick conspiracy! Kick up! Kick conspiracy! Kick up! Kick conspiracy! In the Booze Club! George Bestos room! Our style is punished! This downfall was and won't go! Estonio, Bismarck! Kick up! Kick conspiracy! Kick up! Kick conspiracy! Kick up! Kick up! Kick conspiracy! We're all found at the bus stop, outstretched in the Christmas rush, hat in his hands, to Carlsberg pounds, songs to himself at the back, at the top. Modifications on the club units. Plastic, slime, partitions, zig-zag, cocktail, Tudor, bar. Pat my cat. Pat my cat, the very famous sports reporter, is talking there. Dance!
The Fall live, fairly obviously, from the LP with the title that I can't really pronounce, to be perfectly honest with you, but it just says live May the 6th, 1983, and that, of course, was Kick a Conspiracy. Before that, it was Sonic and Silver from a 12-inch and a tune called 21 Gun. And we're obviously reading the travel essentials pretty avidly, actually, as we travel around Finland. Already committed several pages to memory and set one of them to music. And on the front of it, in case you've not seen it already, picture of Joe Wiley looking delicious, and on the inside, a picture of Radio 1's Sarah Cox as she styled, looking frankly unbalanced. And then I turned to the page about Finland, and it says such things as biotechnology is growing fast. 1 out of every 10 European biotech companies is Finnish. I must admit I didn't know that. And it also says here that... hold on. It says 2/3 of Finland is forest, so jobs in horticulture and forestry are worth investigating. I'm surprised here that it's only 2/3, because we've seen like limitless silver birch trees and fir trees. And if you have a particular interest in silver birch or fir trees, this is certainly the place to come, because there are plenty of them for you to choose from. But we've had a thoroughly good time so far. It's slightly exhausting because we flew to Helsinki, and then rather than... because I wanted to, see the country a bit, and haven't been doing these programmes for Radio Mafia for a very long time without ever having come to the country previously. I wanted to see as much of it as was possible. So we drove up for about 3 hours to a place called Jyväskylä, and then the following day drove all the way up to the inside the Arctic Circle to where these events were taking place, the one live in Lapland stuff, and drove for, well, it was 785 kilometres in one day, which is quite good, actually, I must admit. And, of course, now we've driven back again. And we stopped in 1 or 2 places. We stopped in Oulu on the way back, Oulu, rather, on the way back, and did some record shopping. And this is one of the tunes that I bought.
Toiset tanssii valssia ja tangoa ja humppaa ja jenkaa ja purkaa ja jytää. Mut mä vain polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon. Kunnes kuulen, toiset ei uskalla tanssii, kun ne pelkää, et tulee hiki ja pettää vielä tödö. Mut mä vain polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon. Kunnes kuulen, toiset ei uskalla tanssii, kun ne pelkää, et mut repee tai tulee paskat housuun. Mut mä vain polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon. Kunnes kuulen, toiset ei uskalla tanssii, kun ne pelkää, sillä aikaa joku varastaa niiden telkkari. Mut mä vain polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon. Kunnes kuulen. Vain polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, kunnes kuulen. Mä vain polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, kunnes kuulen. Mä vain polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, mä polkoon, kunnes kuulen.
Well, that seems to be the end of that. That's actually, this is rather embarrassing, because I was going to get Lena to shout out the title of that and the name of the artist, because I'm not entirely certain how they should be pronounced. But for the first time in my life, I'm using a headset microphone, and therefore she can't shout out. If you shouted from back there, would they be able to hear?
Mä vaan pokoon.
Say it again.
Mä vaan pokoon.
That's the artist, is it? Oh, no, that was the title of the track. What does that mean?
I'll pogo until I die.
Okay, and it's by...
Pelle Miljoona.
Right,
Ja,
okay, just as I thought. And this one I can pronounce, this I can pronounce to my satisfaction anyway. And just about my favourite Finnish band, or my favourite Finnish band that I've heard recently. This is Arvikko from a new LP, which is called, what is it called? Multi-Music. And this is, it's got another Finnish word in it. I'll find out how it should be pronounced after or while I'm playing you the track. Well, there you go. That's a track from Arvico, and it's called New York, London, Siilinjärvi, Tokyo. And Siilinjärvi, you won't be too surprised to hear, is the name of the place where they live, apparently. But you'll hear more tracks from that LP when we get back to dear old Blighty next week, or in time for next week's programmes. And our Flossie is actually drifting around the greater Europe, Mediterranean region principally, with some of her mates. And this Travel Essentials book would have been very useful for her, I don't doubt, as well. And I've been texting her on an almost hourly basis and getting rather impertinent messages back. And she seems to have an excellent time. She's in Greece at the moment. But when she was in Verona, she walked into a metal sign and cut her head quite badly. But fortunately for her, the sign said hospital, and so she followed the arrow and had a scan and a couple of stitches and has been patched up. So thanks to the Italian hospital authorities for doing that. I'm sure they're going to be listening to tonight's programme. And this is one of the bands that we recorded. I didn't record it at all, got nothing to do with it. In fact, I don't think I was even there. But at the one live in Lapland, as we're calling it, am I going to play the right track? I believe I am. What have I done? Am I going to play the right one? No, that's not it, is it? No, that's it, over there. Sorry, okay, let's try this. See what happens. There we go.
Savior of Scandinavia. This one's dedicated to Mr. John Peel. What an honor.
Cause I've been known to slam. A pioneer, an experiment like Dolly. We try and clone this land. You be bold to slang. It's not a hostage situation. It's a low goddamn. I rock with some styles like a strong I can. You be caught off guard, man. You need a soft start head. An exceptionally off guard head. Your heads are cold hard and you pin your wind sweating up. But you a trouble spilling hard. No more lies. I do boo at taboos. I'm not an article trophy train. I'm an in control caboose. Boom. You always say my devastating booze. Yes, getting saving if I may look like one. Who dares when you see my bitch shook my son? I like to thank whoever took my gun. Then they didn't sell pale face cook my son. I trust where I work cause books like that. Offers often do cause it looks like fun. Cause it looks like lies. No more lies. No more lies. Try and waste less money than that tastes less honey with the blue eyeshadow. Depending on who I battle, maybe it is a weak or something. Allow me to recapitulate, they never found how far. Enough of bargaining, verify this spellbound after. Time to make the silver crown suffer. To use the bombers and red in order to make the ground rougher. Alive. No su canto. ASAP pronto, you be tonto. I play the child in the major stars. Think that the stranger part is designed to change your heart. I embellish this hellish rage, every face apart. They say my judge and never ever my issue breaks the doors. Face it off, woman, I'm forced to be reckoned with. The moment is the first time. Now it's time for a second fix. Second fix. No more lies. Keep no more lies. 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 No more
That's Paleface recorded live. Saviour of Scandinavia is the title of the track in what we're calling One Live in Lapland, but which actually was called Levitation. Listen up, here comes Finpop, and it says Finnish Music and Media Live Export Showcase and Seminar. Didn't go to much of the seminar stuff. Actually, I've got some information about some of the seminars here. Hold on a second, where is it? I can't find them immediately, but they were rather less than riveting. Now, I'll find those in a moment, but let me tell you about Paleface. It says, Paleface is the biggest phenomenon in the Finnish hip-hop and is bound to make an international impact as well. Paleface was born in 1978 and he made his first rap recordings at the age of 10. Since then, he's also been into punk, metal and progressive rock. After all the exploration among different types of music, he returned to his true love, hip-hop, and grew up to be an extraordinary MC, and it was nice of him to dedicate that to this programme. The emails, I have to be absolutely honest with you, have not been flooding in. In fact, we've had one from John, as many as one from John, on a subject really unrelated to this programme, but thank you very much for it nevertheless, John. The email address, it would be nice to hear from you, because obviously we feel a bit kind of cut off from, home at the moment. Lena.leitonen@yle.fi, it is. That's LEENA dot LEHTINEN at YLE.FI. And this is Calexico.
Hot rail, hot rail, hot rail, hot rail.
I suspect you probably lost most of that from now on. Anyway, Calexico from the LP Hot Rail. That was the title track, indeed, on City Slang Records. Emails are now coming through, and the first of them, with a chilling inevitability, is from Screen of the Cuban Boys. He says, hope you're having a great time in Finland. Please mention us all to your Finnish friends. No, hold on. Please mention us to all your Finnish friends, as we'd love the opportunity for you to introduce them to the wonderful world of the Cuban Boys. Hopefully one day we'll manage a trip over there. Don't worry too much about the dropout at the beginning of the show. The same thing happened on the Chris Moyles programme this afternoon. P.S. Have you been lap dancing yet? That is just unforgivably feeble, isn't it? It really is. But if you're still with us, Screen, you might like to sample the Pig's Big Bells, which is coming up later on, very soon, actually, in about 10 minutes' time, because it really is pretty intensely moving. And one here from Philip Howe of Bolton. He says, hope your trip's going well. What's the weather like? Can you mention my friend... I'll check... Oh, goodness me. How do you say this name? Ville
Kula.
Ville Kula and his girlfriend
Mari,
who live at
Mäkelän katu.
Right, okay, fair enough. I'm sure they'll be listening too. And our Lynn, the office junior, has recently been on holiday herself and came back with a cassette for me, which is it's called Fruta Fresca, Fiebre Latina, and it's got a picture of a woman without much clothing on and one of those strange bathing costumes which is stuck up her bottom, which always strikes me as rather unpleasant, I must admit, but to each his own. And we listened to this in the car as we were speeding north, and we were rather expecting it to be terrible, really, weren't we? But in fact it turned out to be rather good, and here's a track from it. Hold on, am I going to, once again, no, it's not a CD, it's this little blighter there. Hold on, so that's that goes there, and that goes there. Yes!
Dame los perfumes de sus valles y sus flores, y la luz de su mañana, acuarela de colores. Dame tu ritmo caliente cuando suenan sus guitarras, y el repique de un gitano cuando está tocando palmas. Dame la alegría de mi tierra santa y ese ángel de mi gente, cuando el corazón les canta. Ole, 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 hola, mi tierra tiene una gracia que no se puede aguantar. Ole, 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 hola, es el grito de mi gente cuando quiere de verdad. Dame sus sabores, abricura y manzanilla, y sus fiestas populares que son una maravilla. Dame su belleza, hecha de mi raza, y el valor de sus toreros cuando salen a la plaza. Dame la alegría de mi tierra santa y ese ángel de mi gente, cuando el corazón les canta. Ole, 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 hola, mi tierra tiene una gracia que no se puede aguantar. Ole, 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 hola, es el grito de mi gente, cuando quiere de verdad. ¡Vámonos para adelante! Lléname los ojos de su piel azul turquesa y la magia de su luna que te embruja y que te besa. Llévame a caballo de mariscos y caminos, ofrécele mi cariño a la Virgen del Rocío. Dame la alegría de mi tierra santa y ese ángel de mi gente, cuando el corazón les canta. Ole, 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 hola, mi tierra tiene una gracia que no se puede aguantar. Ole, 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 hola, es el grito de mi gente, cuando quiere de verdad. ole, hola, es el grito de mi gente cuando quiere de verdad.
Well, I think that's excellent stuff, and thanks very much to Lynn for giving me that. It was obviously intended as a bit of a joke present, really, because it was the scantily clad woman on the front that was supposed to be attractive to me, but not for the first time in my life. It turns out to be the music, really, that works, that does it for me. That was Hielo Seco and Olé, the version merengue. And some more emails, one here from Al in a very hot Berkeley. That'll be Berkeley, California, I don't doubt. He said his afternoon, because obviously they hear these things in the afternoon there, has been made by hearing Marquis Smith sneering down the internet. And one here from Juliet. No, I don't have any records by Alice in Wasteland, Juliet, I'm afraid. And he says, in 1988, she rather says, in 1988, sorry about that, I wrote to Radio Sweden to tell them they didn't play enough Finnish pop music on their Nordic pop programme, which they didn't. I won a Radio Sweden T-shirt for my efforts, and the next Nordic pop programme consisted entirely of Finnish pop. So a demonstration that you too can make a difference. And one from Nicholas Jones from Atlanta in the United States of America, and he wants something from Liverpool, and he says, you didn't half say the email address quickly. I had to go to the Radio Mafia site and hunt down the email, just improved my Finnish. So there you go, very enterprising, Nicholas. The email address, let me one more time, is Lena Leitonen at YLE-FI. That's LEENA dot. I'm doing it slowly this time, in case you were wondering. LEHTINEN at YLE.FI. I think that should be enough. And another one here. Hold on a second. Let's get the page turned over. And I'll do that one in just a moment, actually. Right, the next tune... Oh, yes, when we were in Oulu, outside the Tourist Information Office, sitting in the car while other people went to seek information, we saw a bloke with the best mullet. This was Lynn and the pig and myself. Saw a man with the best mullet I've seen in several years. Absolutely extraordinary. A classic of the genre. And as a consequence of this, here's a tune by the Dillinger Escape Plan, which is called The Mullet Burden.
Let's
Very, very good indeed. That's the Dillinger Escape Plan. You won't be too astonished to hear that that's another track from the Contaminated 3 compilation from Relapse Records, and it's called The Mullet Burden. Now, one of the most interesting places that we've been to in Finland, well, this afternoon we went to a restaurant called The Fisherman, which is on the Jyväskylä to Lahti road, and the 75, actually, the E75. And we went in there, and I think we were the only customers, but the woman in there was so nice that we want to make her restaurant the most popular in all of Finland and possibly in Northern Europe, if we possibly can. It's called The Fisherman, and it's just really nice. And she's a lovely woman, and we wanted to hug her, didn't we, really, to be honest? But we also stopped off earlier on, because we've done a lot of eating and a certain amount of drinking as well, at a restaurant, a roadside restaurant called Vaskikalo, and Lena has disappeared, so I can't check with her that I'm pronouncing this correctly, but it's close enough. And they actually do a brochure which reads in part, although the restaurant of Vaskikalo is comfy and small, seating 82 people, we have in peak season managed to daily serve thousands of customers, 500,000 annually. In summer we have tables and chairs outside. Finally, in our 100-years-old threshing house, blackened by smoke while in active service, another 50 guests can take place. Nevertheless, groups are advised to book in advance. The first thing we did was invent the name Vaskikalo for this roadhouse. Next we went out and brought one brass bell, Vaskikalo in Finnish, to hang next to the doorway as a symbol. Modestly and without major planning, our collection of bells, unique within and without Finland, then began. The first bell, initially thought to be the only one, bearing the engraving Keep Nature Beautiful 1973. And it goes on to say, yes, you can ring them. So we took advantage of this, and the pig was recorded ringing some of these bells. So this is Pig's Big Bells. And it is, I think it's an intensely moving performance.
Pig's Big Bell.
Well, I think that's fantastic. Pig's Big Bells, recorded at, I think a round of applause for that. At Vaskikalo, have I pronounced that correctly?
Vaskikalo.
Vaskikalo, okay. And but a place not to be missed if you're ever on the E75 heading north or south through Finland. And I think there could be a future for you, actually, on the kind of avant-garde music circuit, because they like things like that. They do, don't they? Those avant-garde people, they like a bit of that, because they sit there and think, of course, this is the outcry of an oppressed person, or something like that, instead of it's some daft old dolly banging bells. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, Stacker and Skynet, bless him. Now, these boys, Teen Terrific or what? This is Stacker and Skynet from the Clockwork LP, coming from Under Fire Recordings. This track is Biosphere, and they're going to be doing something to this programme live from our Maida Vale studios on the 23rd of May. They're going to have some kind of an exciting competition so that perhaps you can be there on the night. Next week, by the way, on Tuesday it's Mouse on Mars, and then on Wednesday it's Mellis and Seedling playing at Maida Vale, and we had a competition, didn't we? So people have got tickets for that, and that'll be live from our Maida Vale studios. And then on Thursday it's Centromatic in session. And an email here from John in Liverpool who says, can you play any Fall record and dedicate it to Sami Hyypiä of Finland, the greatest centre-half for Liverpool since Ron Yates? And I pronounce it in that rather exaggerated way because I actually found I was so worried about the wide range of pronunciations of the man's name that I kept hearing on the radio and television that I phoned I phoned Lena and asked her for the correct pronunciation of Sami. And he did tell me it was kind of almost like two words. He said, because it's like Hyypiä. Yeah, okay, there you go. So I've almost got it right anyway. And of course we dedicate the entire programme to him, really, because, I mean, we're here in his country, after all. And here's one from Anya Wallace, doesn't say where Anya is. Wish I was in Helsinki instead of in Belfast, and I wish I'd worked earlier on in the term, too. There are probably quite a lot of people who feel precisely that. And then perhaps you can make yourself useful over there and ask your mafia mates to settle your spat with Nasha as precisely how to pronounce mom. But, I mean, mom are actually mum, isn't it? Excuse me, I'm burping now, how disgusting. But they're Icelandic anyway, aren't they? But you say it's moom, and Nasha says moom. Nasha, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a trainee. He actually doesn't work on this programme, but who we like and seems to like us, or some of us anyway. And she says it's moom, and you say it's moom, do you, Anita, the producer?
I thought it was mum.
I thought it was mum too, but it's spelt mum. But anyway, Slime in Wolverhampton wanted to know the answer to that. And more emails to lena.leitonen@yle.fi. That's LEENA dot LEHTINEN at YLE.FI. And this is I was at the Festival Hall for a concert featuring who was there? Let's see, David Thomas and two Pale Boys and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and Elvis Costello and others. And this is going to be shown on television, BBC television, on Saturday night. Don't all look so blank. Somebody nod. Okay, it is Saturday night. Okay, fair enough. And I was supposed to play some tunes afterwards, but didn't get an awful lot of time to do it. But members of Lift to Experience were there, and it was good to see them. And, of course, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Centromatic, of course, are from Denton, Texas, and so are Lift to Experience. I've done all this back to front. I'll just play a record and shut up.
This is my home, it seems, with the rock and the hard places stuck between. The God, man Christ, cause cursed man to the test. This God, damned cross, crushed into my chest. I'm still doing my best, and so the winter time comes calling through the skies. I'm crawling from cloud nine. I'm falling, and in the foolish crash it to the ground. Slip off your slippers and dance all around. It's blood, it's just blood, it's just blood, it's just blood, it's just blood.
That is just so good. That's Lift to Experience and Falling from Cloud. And it'd be nice to get that. Did they do a session? They did do a session for us, didn't they? We should have another one at the earliest opportunity. And I think do a programme from Denton, Texas at the earliest opportunity too, because it is obviously, where things are happening. And it's also, something rather marvellous about it is the fact that I would know how to pronounce almost everything that came up in Denton, Texas, instead of regularly making a fool of myself. And the reason we were worrying about the pronunciation of mum or moom is because they form part of tomorrow's One World at midnight, right here on Radio 1. One of the seminars that unfortunately we missed at the Levitation event up inside the Arctic Circle was new tools for electronic ticketing and music promotion. But perhaps they'll send us a cassette of it or something, and it does sound utterly riveting. Let me read about the next band that we're going to feature from this event, Lemonator. It says, if your heart likes the sounds of Elliott Smith, Travis, Smashing Pumpkins, Foo Fighters or Yola Tango, you'll love Lemonator. Debut album Yellow 1997 was a guitar-driven, straightforward affair, and the second album, Maison Relax 1998, took the band towards darker and moodier sounds. The third and the latest album, The Waltz, basically combines the worlds of the previous ones. The Waltz is made up of heartfelt lyrics, rich arrangements and superb songs which have earned a respectable amount of airplay in the Finnish radio. Members of Lemonator have also gained reputations as producers and songwriters for other artists, and given the opportunity, they go like this, I think.
Love
Tuhannet kiitokset. Lemonator kiittää. Thank you.
Seyahat için gerekli olan şeyler.
Travel Essentials on Radio 1.
Sending the money home, you can save thousands.
Money, money, money. Now that got your attention, didn't it? Want to find out how you can earn a load of cash and still find time to see more of the world? Get a pen and paper and wait for the number.
Hi, my name's Caroline, and I worked on the cruise ships, and I'm a beauty therapist. The travel is the main thing, seeing all these places that I would never have seen before. We went hiking up the mountain in Alaska. I was so scared when I got halfway up. I thought, oh my God, what am I doing? Why aren't I sat down in my comfy chair watching Richard and Judy? I felt so good about actually going there, and I've done it, and I've been up to the top of that mountain.
Now that could be you. Call 0800 110 100. That's 0800 110 100 for your free guide to living, working and studying abroad. Or you can check out the Essentials website, www.bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 and click on Essentials.
Arrivederci.
And very nice too, I'd say, and that comes from Los Straight Jackets. It's a track from their LP Damas y Caballeros on Yep Rock Records. I'm not entirely sure that it's out yet. Well, it's, no, hold on, what is it? No, 27th of February, so it certainly is out, actually, in the United States of America. And an email here from Tim Powell, Elton on the Hill, Nottinghamshire, and he says, well done for finally making it to Finland. I enjoyed my one and only visit with my family about 2 years ago. We liked the Architects Museum and the Athletes Stadium in Helsinki. The latter evokes so well the famous athletic battles of the 1950s and 60s. The Sibelius sculpture, says Tim, on the other hand, is a bit of a disappointment in my view. Well, we're going to be checking out some of those things tomorrow, won't we, if not all of them. And Simon Harvey says, no sign of a midnight sun down here in Colchester. How about at your end? Well, actually, I must admit, when we were up in the Arctic Circle at Levitation, it was spooky, because you came out of the gigs at sort of 1 o'clock in the morning and it was daylight. And it had been daylight when you went in, you know, and when you came out at whatever time it was daylight, the whole time, never stopped being daylight. It was unnerving. And then here's one from Dan, and it says, Dan Mokes this is, and it says, be nice, can you dedicate a record to my brother Gordon, formerly of Uniform? Well, I'm happy to do that. In fact, we'll make this next record for Gordon.
Skin tape.
I've got a fantastically complicated move coming up next, so stand by for things to go wrong. This is from an LP called Botch It Breaks 4, not surprisingly from Botch It and Scarpa, and it's by D. Klein, 2 words, and Morph, and it's called Shake It. And an email here from a couple of our Tom's mates in Sheffield, Duncan and Will. They apparently used to live in one of the places that we went through, but unfortunately Lena isn't here to tell me how to pronounce it. We just called it Rovaniemi, because that's what it looked like, but I'm sure that's not right at all. And he said, but anyway, we used to live there, say Duncan and Will, and understand that our reaction to the haircuts. Nice to hear the pronunciation dealt with so deftly. Not on this occasion, I think, but thanks very much for that. And this one from DJ MC Mickey, it looks like, or possibly DJ Mac Mickey, but it says, hope you're having a great time in Finland. We are, actually, by and large. We're sending all our love to you and the Finlanders. What are you laughing about? What's funny about that? Eh? Well, it might be Mac Mickey. People call themselves all kinds of daft things. Here's one from Kevin Suzanne. And it says, glad to hear you enjoyed Lapland's natural beauty so much. We enjoyed it so much we bought a house there. Great show, which we missed so much. Oh, very nice of them. Miss on our extended stays in Levy that we've taken to taping a couple of programmes to keep us going through the polar winter. Well, OK, that's I can understand why they've done that, actually. Because I liked. They've got some great sheds. Another one of the things that we noticed, this is Andy Rogers, the engineer, and myself, are particularly keen on some of the sheds, because you see these kind of very much weathered, sometimes one suspects abandoned wooden sheds all over the place, and they are things of great beauty. And I think somebody, I wish I'd got the time to do it, should come over and do a book of great Finnish sheds, because I would certainly very much like to have a copy of that. Here's an email about the fall from Stephen, the student who can't bring himself to study. I suspect you are not alone in that, Stephen. And this is from Graham in Chichester. He says, I'm sitting doing my marketing course homework and drinking a beer and anticipating the celebration for my 30th birthday this Saturday, all whilst listening to your show. Can you play something uplifting for me and the traditional Anyone Who Knows Me? Is this uplifting? Well, it is, in a manner of speaking, because we've got, first of all, a Radio Mafia jingle, and that'll be followed by a track from Can Can Heads, If Everything Works Out.
Radio Mafia.
And that's a track from Can Can Heads, from an EP on Vadura Records, based here in Helsinki, I think. And not quite as good as I Ate My Neighbour's Doggy, which I played you, I think, last week, but pretty fine nevertheless. And it's one of about 8 tracks on a 7-inch EP called Cricket Okasada, and we're hoping to find out more about Verdura Records because this is their 4th release, and of the previous 3 we know rien, as they say in French. Such a multilingual kind of guy, really. And I've been urged to mention once again the book with the picture of Joe Wiley on the front of it, although that's obviously not the main reason for buying it. Or you don't have to buy it, you get it for nothing. Amazing. Travel Essentials, your guide to living, working and studying abroad. BBC Radio 1, 97 to 99 FM. And what do they have to do? You have to just... Do they have to contact this? What do they do? OK, for Travel Essentials, you call 0800 110 100. Is that right? That's all you do?
Yeah.
Amazing. You get this book free for that. That's shocking, frankly. I think they should have to pay. But it's 0800 110 100 for a copy of Travel Essentials, or www.bbc.co.uk/Radio 1 for more information about it, I assume. And... well, it's a handsome volume. No pictures of me in it, but there you go. You can't have absolutely everything. Who else is in it, by the way? Just have a look and see. No Joe Wiley's in there anyway. There's Sarah Cox still. She hasn't moved. I don't know. I can't be bothered to go on with it. But it's a fine read. Of that there can be no doubt. Evan in Scotland said, I hope you're enjoying your visit to Finland. We certainly are. About this time last year, I was working there in the small town of Forsa, which I've mispronounced, I don't doubt. Is it Forsa?
No, that was quite correct.
Was that Forza? Oh, right, OK. With only your Radio Mafia programme and some TV station to remind me of the English language, please can you play something for the commie artists and everyone I met while I was there. That's Mervyn in Scotland. And then here's one from Carlo Longino in Austin, Texas, and a former resident of... Come on, what's this one, Lena?
Pohjois-Haga.
Right, OK. And he says, play some... Apocalyptica, the most decent Finnish band around. Do we know Apocalyptica? Are they any good? Be honest.
Metallica by Cellos.
Oh, right, okay. Well, good Lord, that does sound quite interesting, actually, in a ghastly sort of way. And we've been playing tracks from Captain Beefheart, from Lick My Decals Off, Baby, and this is as far as we've got with that.
Come on, why don't you flex your magic muscle? Space age, come on, why do you hex your magic muscle? Space age, come on, why do you hustle and bustle? Why'd you drop your cool tomfoolery and shed your nasty jewelry? Why'd you drop your cool tomfoolery and shed your nasty jewelry? Why'd you drop your cool tomfoolery and shed your nasty jewelry? Why'd you drop your cool tomfoolery and shed your nasty jewelry? Why'd you drop your cool tomfoolery and shed your nasty jewelry? Why'd you cultivate the grounds? They're the only ones around. Why'd you cultivate the grounds? They're the only ones around. Why'd you cultivate the grounds? They're the only ones around. Why'd you cultivate the grounds? They're the only ones around. Space age, come on, why don't you flex your magic muscle? Hold a drinking glass up to your eye, and after you scoot up a little of the sky, and it ain't blue no more. What's on the leaves ain't do no more. What's on the leaves ain't do no more. What's on the leaves ain't do no more. Space age, come on, why don't you just do that? Space age, come on, why don't you just do that? Up to your eye, after you scooped up a little of the sky, and it ain't blue no more. Watch all the leaves ain't do no more. Space age, come on, why don't you flex your magic muscle? Space age, come on, why do you hustle and bustle? Space age, come on, why don't you drop your cool tomfoolery, shed your nasty jewelry? Space age, come on, why don't you just do that? Space age, come on, why don't you just do that? Space age, come on, why don't you just do that? Space age, come on, why don't you just do that?
Captain Beefheart and the Magic Band, and tonight's track from the LP, the classic LP, Lick My Decals Off, Baby, and that was Space Age Couple. Tomorrow night's track is The Clouds Are Full of Wine, Not Whiskey or Rye, along with a session from... What is it in tomorrow night's programme? Actually, I can answer that question myself. I don't need you on this occasion, Anita, to chime up. It's Ikara Cult tomorrow. And then the final track from the LP, which is Flash Gordon's Ape, will be in next Tuesday night's programme. What are you writing notes? What is she writing? What is that? Bring that to me. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. I'm sorry. Otherwise, I shall send you to the headmistress. All right, okay, fair enough. Right, okay, we'll get to the bottom of that during the next record. And Ray Borum has sent us an email. It says, Viking Freight Inc. IT Department. And he says, good luck to Liverpool this weekend. I really hope they beat, Arsenal, really. He says, I'm a Spurs fan from Barnsley. I'll be glued to the set of the Britannia's Arms in San Jose at the unearthly hour of 7 a.m. And quite right, too. Greetings from sunny San Jose, California, says Ray. And actually, the emails are now coming in at such a rate that I'm not entirely sure that we're going to have time to deal with them all in the course of this programme. But we'll take the residue home and use them in next week's programmes, probably. Now to Kwan. Are they pronounced Kwan or Kwan? Kwan? Kwan, okay. And it says they met when they both had roles in a musical called Fire Kid. And Pauli Rantasalmi, who's also known as the guitar player of the Rasmus, was Mariko's old friend, and he had lots of ideas for hip-hop tracks. The threesome started to work together to combine Pauli's music with rhythms provided by Mariko and Tidjan. And it says, Mariko had spent her childhood in the USA, and Tidjan is the son of a Finnish Senegalese parents, and he's lived in Finland, the United States, Germany, Senegal, and France. Therefore, international approach and English as a language were obvious choices for them, and it carries on in this. Anyway, this is what they sound like.
Because you're supposed to be famous and Finnish, like a sing song, oh, everything is famous. And you are Finnish.
I hear this. Beatboxing, turntables, the jacks on microphone, Beatboxing, turntables, the jacks on microphone, move. Come on. Sing it, girl. I see your back, gaggity-diggity-dacka like a sack up. Black-blackity-hackity-hacka-dacka-wacka. Play with your tongue, digga-dagga-wacka, say ya. I got a lyrics like a bullet in the AK. So ready or not. What you gonna do now? Step into the body of mine. All I need is a rhythm divine. So I can put the words on beat and drop it on the line. Hippie, hippie, shake, hippie, low, hippie, high. Make it a back to track. Slam, tiki, high. Hop is my ambition, so I said all this. One step ahead, put my step on your back. Yeah, I got a message in a bottle. Take it from the water. Feed it to your sister and your brother. So step inside the perfect dark of this new life form tonight. Put a uniform on tonight. Beatboxing, turntables, the jacks and microphone, 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 what? That's phone, Yo, give me room now, back up, son. You won't get the mic, yo, till I get done. I warn you, dude, don't talk, I say. Come on, baby, light my fire. Purple haze. High mathematics, 106. No tricks, just a pure hip-hop addict. Don't ever underestimate your enemy like Kennedy. They got the poison, you don't got the remedy. What's the melody coming from the temple of the Quan? Dynasty sweet melancholy rap. So the vernal majesty has arrived, and I'll testify when the love and death embrace tonight. Oh my God, yes, that I do that. Wear a big dress, should I go it up? Knock the wood, knock the door. Engine, number 9. Across the fade on the transit line. Yo, back little at the front, that's fine. Is everybody ready for the chorus? Go something like this. Turntables, the tracks and microphone, Beatboxing, 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 turntables, the tracks and microphone, You need a beatboxing, turntables, the tracks and microphone, Beatboxing, turntables, the tracks and microphone, What? Phone,
Rita. Thanks, all.
Quan it is, and that's Microphone IA. Another one of the ensembles that played at Levitation, recorded for you, actually by Radio Mafia, I think, for broadcast here on Radio 1, One Live in Lapland. And an email here from Duncan Greenshields from the University of Warwick. He says, listening to your programme, hope you like Finland. We do, actually. We've thoroughly enjoyed ourselves so far and plan to enjoy ourselves even more tomorrow. I should be going there this summer if all is well with exams and things. Keep up the good work and escape from the Radio Mafia, if at all possible, to get some well-earned rest. Tell the pig that her bells thingy was most excellent. You have a fan, you see. And if it came out on a record, I have no doubt that Duncan Greenshields of the University of Warwick would be amongst the first to buy a copy of it. These are the Cleaning Women. There you go, that's the track from Cleaning Women. That's a record that we were given, just almost before we went on the air. And it's from an LP called Pulsator, and the track I played you was Rice Western, and it sounds like another one from which you will hear more tracks in future programmes once we get back to dear old Blighty. As I say, I must stop saying that. An email from Mick Ashman. How surprising and disappointing it would have been if we'd not had one from him tonight. And he says, amongst other things, might I suggest that the next David Gedge challenge is a Finnish version of Hard, Fast and Beautiful. We'll certainly put that to David. He's a man who responds to a challenge, as we know. Jed, or possibly Ged, no, must be Jed, says, the Finnish girl at my work is actually playing a gig tomorrow. She's never heard of you, but I'm sure she'll be very chuffed to the hill to get a mention. Her name is Hilla, with a very soft D after the L's, more of a Hilla, I guess. And she's playing at the Targa Lane in Glasgow tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And Colin Robinson says here, regardless of my other inquiry, whatever that may have been, could you please say hello to my good friend Aid in Bristol and tell him that it's good that he's busy at work, but he needs to keep in touch with his friends too. A bit of a reprimand there for, I suspect, for Aid in Bristol. And Ricardo from the Cuban Boys, Screen's joke was right. You're right, feeble. He will be disciplined. And can I have a big across the ocean style shout out to my Finnish friend Frosty while I'm here? And where are we now? Oh, this is another Finnish ensemble, a trio, we're told. And God knows where it is. Hold on a second. I think this must be the one here. And these are the Opal Bastards. And that's the choice of Lena Leitonen, our host. Hostess gives the wrong impression, doesn't it, really? You can't say hostess. But that was her choice of record. Anyway, the Opal Bastards and a track called Scorpius from an LP called The Job, it looks like, actually. And is that what it's called? Yeah. All right, OK, fair enough. And an email here from our William, which is really nice. And he says, that bell ringer might well get a job going around houses in the middle of the night about Christmas time. The dance thing you're playing at the moment after the bells is pretty superb. What was that, I wonder? That was, Stacker and Skynet. I'll get you a copy, William. Hope you're all well. Lots of love, William. P.S. Was the mullet as good as Pat Sharp's or Mum's old one? It's hurtful, isn't it? And Sandra from Cornwall, who's an expat Finn, has sent us rather a long email, and frankly we're running out of time here, but as I say, we'll take all of these homes and home and attend to them next week, hopefully. Right, this is a chance for you to dance, if that's what you're supposed to do to it, the Wiggy Waggy Woo.
Well, baby, when you say you're mine for real, you don't know how good it makes me feel. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My soul goes ziggy zaggy too. 'Cause I love you. When you say I'm sweet as I can be, I love to hear you talk that talk to me. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My soul goes ziggy zaggy too. 'Cause I love you. And when you kiss me, honey, I'll start feeling funny. Wham! Right off the bat. You say you miss me too, but I'm not with you. I go for all kinds of stuff like that, 'cause I love you, baby. When you call me on the phone, just to tell me that you're still my own. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My soul goes ziggy zaggy too. 'Cause I love you. You miss me too when I'm not with you. I go for all kinds of stuff like that, 'cause I love you, baby. When you call me on the phone, just to tell me that you're still my own. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My heart goes wiggy waggy woo. My soul goes ziggy zaggy too. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you. 'Cause I love you.
Oh, sorry about that. That's the Wiggy Waggy Woo from 1957, that golden year. And it comes from the Cadets, and it's on the compilation LP Modern Vocal Groups, Volume 5. And we're almost to the end of the programme. Our thanks to, obviously to Lena Leitonen and to Radio Mafia for looking after us and ensuring that I don't make too many mistakes in the course of the programme, to Anita, the producer, of course, Lynn, the office junior, to the Pig for her extraordinary contribution on the bells, and to Andy Rogers, who's taken care of all of the technical business. And I don't have time to play all of the final record in tonight's programme, but there'll be more records from Finland, obviously, in next week's programmes, and further reminiscing and wearisome stories about our travels. And this is going to be from Airport Girl, in my view, except all of a sudden this is where it's gone terribly wrong. No, it hasn't.
Just so good.
We'll have at least one more Levitation track for you on Tuesday night's programme because we didn't have time for it tonight. And I will play you this track again in its entirety and without interruption. It's from Airport Girl and it's from the LP Honey I'm an Artist. It's called Between Death and Delaware. And thanks very much for listening. At 12